that is Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, we all know the records, right? The trophies, the massive global brand. But today, we're really tracing a jarringly extreme contrast. We're looking at his journey from incredibly vulnerable, impoverished beginnings to becoming literally a one-man global industry. We're going to isolate the exact building blocks, the psychology, the extreme physical discipline, and the sheer economic gravity that turned a kid from a tiny island into one of the most recognized human beings on the planet. Let's get into it.
Listen to the raw reality of this quote. "I can deal with the pressure because of the difficult life I have had. I was ironing my own clothes when I was 11 years old." Just think about what that actually means for a second. The ability to step up and take a game-deciding penalty kick in front of 1 billion people. That isn't forged in a stadium. It's forged in those quiet, lonely moments of having to be entirely self-reliant. He was completely separated from his family, ironing his own clothes at 11 years old. This really shows us exactly how his childhood struggles built the psychological foundation for everything that followed.
Section 1. The Boy from Madeira. Humble Beginnings.
So, growing up on a small Portuguese island in a cramped, tin-roofed home, resources were incredibly scarce. His mom worked as a cook and cleaner, and there was absolutely no safety net. So when he made this brutal decision to leave his family and move to Lisbon for Sporting CP's youth academy at just 12 years old, the transition was, well, it was agonizing. He was severely homesick. He spoke with this thick Madeiran accent that actually caused the other kids to mock him constantly. Honestly, most kids would have just packed their bags and gone back home, but instead, Ronaldo used that intense isolation as fuel. He started channeling all that loneliness directly into relentless solo training, laying the groundwork for a habit of over-preparation that would pretty much define his entire life.
And this brings us to a really tough, but absolutely crucial turning point. The tragic reality of his father having his life cut short by severe alcoholism didn't just cause Ronaldo incredible sadness, it actually sparked an absolute, unyielding refusal to ever consume alcohol himself. Witnessing his father battle this disease directly inspired a strict, high-performance lifestyle. He basically turned his personal trauma into psychological armor, making sure he would always be in complete, absolute control of his mind and his body.
Section 2. Fueling the Machine. Scientific Approach.
You see, that early necessity for self-reliance, it eventually evolved into this obsessive, almost scientific approach to his physical performance. Instead of the standard 3 meals and 8 hours of sleep we're all used to, he breaks his day down into this grueling, highly calculated rhythm. He's consuming up to 6 meals a day just to keep his energy levels perfectly stabilized for training and rapid recovery. And get this, imagine trying to fit up to 5 precise 90-minute sleep cycles into your daily calendar. Yeah, for Ronaldo, it's not about catching a quick nap. Every single thing is meticulously optimized for maximum muscular repair and sustained stamina.
Now, to power a schedule like that, the engine needs pristine fuel. We're talking between 3,000 and 3,200 calories every single day. Huge amounts of lean proteins like swordfish, cod, and chicken, paired with complex carbohydrates like black rice and quinoa for that slow-burning energy. Throw in fresh vegetables and avocado for healthy fats, and you've got this hyper-tuned diet. You won't find a single drop of sugary soda or heavily processed food in his system. This strict, clean-eating engine is absolutely the secret behind his unprecedented longevity in professional sports. Section 3. Touchline Leadership, Euro 2016 Final.
All of this physical and mental discipline eventually birthed a highly unique brand of leadership. Which brings us to the ultimate test, right? What happens when the absolute star can't actually play? During the Euro 2016 final, arguably the defining moment of his international career, Ronaldo suffered a devastating knee injury really early in the match. By all accounts, his impact on the game should have ended the exact moment he was stretchered off the pitch. All those years of physical preparation seemed kind of useless if he couldn't actually be out there on the grass.
But here is where that mindset takes over. Instead of giving up or retreating to the locker room for treatment, the kid who was once mocked for crying on the pitch in Madeira stood on the touchline in a tracksuit. He famously coached, gestured, and literally willed his Portuguese teammates through tears to ultimate victory against France. It was a massive revelation. His true greatness that night was proving he'd built a mentality within his squad capable of winning the biggest prize in Europe, even without his physical presence.
Section 4. The Saudi Transformation, Economic Earthquake.
So the impact of his transfer away from Europe wasn't just some retirement tour, it was an instant economic earthquake. Check this out. Before his arrival, Saudi club Al Nassr had a respectable 5.2 million digital followers. By March 2025, following his transfer, that number had exploded to 57.5 million. He instantly transformed a domestic club into the second most followed football club anywhere outside of Europe. The sheer volume of this jump is actually larger than the combined digital impact of Lionel Messi and Neymar moving to their respective clubs.
30 times. Let me repeat that. That is a 30-fold year-on-year increase in global Google search interest for the Saudi Pro League immediately following his arrival. Almost overnight, fans around the entire world who had never once searched for Saudi football were suddenly tuning in, tracking fixtures, and watching matches. Talk about a real game changer.
And this tidal wave of attention translated directly into hard capital. Before Ronaldo, the average squad value in the Saudi Pro League was under 20 million euros, which is roughly comparable to leagues in Romania or South Korea. Post-Ronaldo, that average squad value nearly tripled to 60 million euros. His presence provided instant, undeniable credibility, and it created a massive wave of elite talent migration. World-class players like Neymar, Sadio Mane, and Karim Benzema followed his lead, openly citing him as the pioneer who kicked open the door.
But his influence reaches way beyond the pitch, straight into national economics and tourism. Get this, a single Instagram post of his family taking a vacation trip to the Red Sea generated 16 million likes. Data analysts calculated that it would take the official Visit Red Sea tourism account 80 years to achieve that exact same amount of exposure based on their current engagement rates. Let that sink in for a second. A single vacation post did the work of nearly a century of national marketing. That, right there, is the true weight of a global icon.
As we conclude this explainer, we really have to pause and ask ourselves a vital question. Knowing that this massive global empire, the 3,000-calorie diets, the touchline leadership, the geopolitical economic shifts, was entirely forged from the discipline of a lonely 11-year-old boy ironing his own clothes just to survive, how will his unmatched blueprint of resilience continue to redefine what is possible in the future of global sports? It's absolute proof that where you start does not dictate where you end up. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep questioning what it takes to build greatness.